Come elections, assembly or general, every political party is talking about what they will offer if they get elected. If you have a close look at their manifestos, you will find several commonalities. Often, most parties make promises of providing subsidized fuel, particularly cooking fuel or domestic LPG. A similar trend has been seen in the ongoing assembly elections, where parties have promised gas cylinder subsidies, that is, offering gas cylinders at a subsidized rate, and some have also offered to give a certain number of cylinders free. In this episode of Energonomics, we look at the impact on fuel prices during elections. Fuel prices have become an important component of parties during elections. Not surprising, as they make a very important component of the household budget. Just look at this graphic. It spells out the cost of non-subsidized LPG cylinder trend. Undoubtedly, this will pinch the voters' pocket. So political parties will talk about it. Energy expert Narendra Taneja said, and I quote, "Political parties think BJP's Ujjwala has delivered political dividends to the party, so they all want to copy BJP in their own way." It is a well-known fact that India is one of the large consumers of LPG, and we also import it in a significant number. I asked Prashant Vashisht, Senior Vice President and Co-Group Head Corporate Ratings, ICRA Limited, the question on fuel price and how it will remain, and this is what he said. The auto fuel prices are expected to remain stable despite the volatility in crude prices and rupee depreciation. Though there was a spurt in crude prices owing to geopolitical issues in October, these have now declined. The domestic LPG prices were cut by the Government of India by Rupee 200 per cylinder, and prices are expected to remain stable in the run-up to the elections. He also noted that the beneficiaries of Centre's Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana scheme currently get Rs 300 additional subsidy per cylinder. So what is the ground reality? How do the subsidy work? How does it impact the dealers? I asked the man at the head of LPG dealers, Chandra Prakash, and this is what he said.
LPG, from the very beginning, it is a very sensitive product, politically and socially both. And also nowadays, particularly in city and now in villages also, it becomes a necessity. When this Prime Minister Ujjwala Yojana was started, those who cannot afford to purchase the LPG connection, government provided free LPG cylinder and regulator and first refill. After that, in COVID, during COVID, 3 refills was given by the government. Those who don't have a purchasing power to purchase a refill, government it is obligatory. Government should provide some subsidy to these beneficiaries. Regular customer earlier also they are getting subsidy from very beginning. Till 2020, they were getting, all the consumers were getting subsidy. Ujjwala customers were not getting subsidy because that was not covered. They were purchasing, but later on, they also get benefited. Majority customers need subsidy. Those who don't have a purchasing power, like in cities, people don't have any alternative other than the LPG or electricity as a cooking fuel. So subsidy is a, yes, you can say it is a political issue also, and it becomes a nowadays election main election agenda, but it is a necessary. It is a social obligation also, and government should provide. But Political parties and others, they should not implement only for the election.
While prices of auto fuel have been flat for some time, we have seen some revision in LPG prices. According to industry experts, the prices of petrol and diesel are expected to remain stable against all odds. The volatility in crude prices and rupee depreciation in the run up to the elections. So, what is the ground reality and what do the retailers feel about it? I asked Ajay Bansal, who's the head of Auto Fuel Association, and this is what he said.
One of the big challenge of the election and the price issue is linked with our demand for what we are making for the last 1 decade to make a petroleum product on one nation, one rate policy. For that, we are demanding, and in fact, we are suggesting all the state governments and the central government, especially, to put this petroleum product under GST. And every political party makes the promises to curtail the price, and uh, and even they promise that the petroleum product will be put under GST. See the GST under GST, but I never find anything from the real efforts from any political party regarding putting this under GST. Uh, Now, the basic why we are asking for this for dealer as far as the customer point of view, why we are demanding this, it's basically because our dealers are facing a very big problem. See, the moment any government raise the VAT or GST, or you can say VAT, on any particular product of petrol and diesel. So the difference between the two neighbor states, so it becomes a very big problem if there is the one particular neighboring state increase the VAT on petrol or any diesel. So dealers just lost the business within one day. So the whole sales shifted to the near states, neighboring states. So this is a very big problem, and there are around 13, 14 states. We have a very huge, more than a 4 or 5 rupees difference between the neighboring state, one state to another state. So it's become a very big problem on highways. Trucks was passing one state into entering the state where the price of petrol is cheaper or diesel is cheaper because of the VAT difference between the states. It has become a very big problem to sustain to business. Once a dealer invest the money and give a proper services on considering the sale volume of particular sale volume. So he has invested, he's developed a full fledged retail outlet. But suddenly a suddenly increased the VAT, and he just lost the business in overnight. So this is the one thing which I feel the election always a big tool, and saying everyone to the public that we are putting this petroleum powder under GST, and the price will be reduced by 10 or 15 or 20 rupees, and it will be very big. But it never happens.
A larger question is, how do the parties who make such commitments deliver it? The state budgets have to factor in these funds. Where and how these funds will be worked out? Are the state finances strong enough to manage these subsidies? Well, for now, they want votes, and no one wants to hurt their vote bank. Though the ultimate burden of the subsidy will fall on you and me, basically from one pocket to another. How exactly? We will discuss in the next episode of Energonomics soon.